And well, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Menza. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be the best and worst horror movies and horror series of 2022. Now the time has come to finally sit down and decide, based on my opinion and the rankings that I gave throughout the year, which ones are, in my opinion, the best and worst of 2022. Now I watched a total of 114 horror movies and 15 horror series. Of course, that is just counting the ones that came out this year. There's no way for me to count how many movies I actually watched in total. Like, I will really need to sit down with my Letterboxd profile to see how many I actually watch. But the ones that came out in 2022, I watched it way more than last year, and I am very happy and proud of that. So like I said, this is based on my opinion only, and the rankings that I gave throughout the year. So that's why I will have in my phone, I have my list here, and I'm going to be giving you the best and worst. I'm going to be starting with the worst, and of course ending with the best, and starting with series and then with movies. So if you want to know which ones are, in my opinion, the best horror movies of this year, you're gonna have to stick into the end. So giving and saying all of that, let's get into the video. Now, starting off with, in my opinion, it's on the top 5 of the worst horror series of this year. It's American Horror Story NYC. I did a review on that. I got some people a little bit pissed because I didn't like the show as much as other seasons. I am sorry, but it was just my honest opinion. I didn't felt that this season wasn't as good, and definitely this story deserved it better and had the potential to be an actual good story. In my opinion, this whole thing should have been a separate series and not on the American Horror Story universe, because it didn't fit. So definitely the story could have been done way better. Now on the number 4, I have The Watcher. This one is a Netflix original that it's made also by Ryan Murphy. I know some people that love it. This one is having a season 2, but unfortunately I did not enjoy it as much as everyone else. Being honest, it was hard for me to even complete the season. Like, I wanted to stop like maybe on the second episode. I didn't want it to continue, but I did it. But I decided to not give it a review because I do not like to sit down here and talk bad and like just give negative things about projects. So if I am not able to find a single thing, I'm not gonna do it. Like, maybe that it's like completely nonsense, because maybe at some point I will have to do that, but I do not like being that type of creator and person, because I know how much hard work comes into making this. But we need to be realistic. So in my opinion, The Watcher, like the series, it wasn't as good, because I'm making the specification because there's a film that came out that is called Watcher. So just doing the clarification. Now on the number 3, I have Archive 81. This series, everyone loved it. I did not. Once again, I did not like it. I was going to do a review about it, but once again, since I didn't find anything positive about it, I just decided to skip it, and this series was actually canceled. The season ends on a cliffhanger and with an open ending, of course, that was supposed to be leading to a second season, but unfortunately, since basically didn't give the numbers that Netflix was expecting, is not having a second season. So if you like the series, I am very sorry to tell you that you will not have in season 2. Now on the second, I am even scared to say this, The Midnight Club by Mike Flanagan. I love every single thing that man does. His movies, his series, he has done so many great things. Unfortunately, The Midnight Club wasn't it. For me, the characters were very annoying. I did not find the stories interesting. Being honest, I did not enjoy the show like nothing. Like, once again, I did not do a review because I did not find anything that was like worth saying or like even talking. So I am sorry if you like this one. This one was supposed also to have a second season, but in case that you don't know, Mike Flanagan ended his contract with Netflix and he's moving to Amazon Prime Video. He still has some series that he still has to do with Netflix are coming on 2023, but for the rest of his projects, they will not have another season. That of course comes to The Haunting. We have The Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor. Most likely where we're going to have a third season about other thing. No, we will not. And when it comes to the Midnight Club, he basically published what he was going to do. Like some people thought that maybe he will be able to do the season and that's it, but no, he will not be able. So you can search on his profiles and his social platforms. He gave a whole explanation of every single thing that was like left for the people to expect second season and all the explanations basically. So at least, although you may not have the second season, at least you have the explanation. And on the top of the list, in my opinion, the worst series of this year is Resident Evil. This is our Netflix original. It was awful. Like, this was just awful. I am very sorry for the people that are like big fans of Resident Evil and the whole franchise and all that. I am very sorry because this was awful. And of course, this is not having a second season. But I am so glad because there's no way that I will sit down to watch another thing of this. Like, no. Now, when it comes to the best horror series of the year, I have actually 6. I wasn't able to make it to 5. I wasn't able to. Now, in my opinion, under number 6, we have Wednesday. I love it, Wednesday, with all my heart. The second season is not confirmed, but most likely it's going to happen. I love it, the series, so damn much that I actually bought her backpack and the blazer, the costume from Hot Topic, and she wears some sneakers at the first episode, and I also bought them because I just love the series so much. I think that Jenna Ortega did an amazing job. And while for some people maybe the series is not horror, in my opinion, I think that it definitely has some horror elements. It's made by Tim Burton, so I'm being biased, but also being honest. Like, I did a review, and of course this series wasn't perfect. Something that is for sure is that if I weren't a content creator and I just could say like my personal opinion without having to think about all the script and like characters and all that type of stuff, we saying that Wednesday is the best series of the year, but of course that is not true if we are 100% honest. But still, I love it. The series, of course, it needed to be on my list. On the number 5, I have Chucky season 2. Although I think that season 1 was better, I definitely think that season 2 was great. So if you have the chance to watch it, go and do it, because honestly, it's the best thing that has ever happened to the franchise is having this series. So it's very, very good. Now, on the 4th position, I have The Sandman. I'm very excited for season 2. I have no idea when it's coming, but I enjoyed this series so damn much. Like, it's honestly stunning. So if you haven't watched it already, give it a chance because it's very, very good. On the 3rd position, I have Stranger Things season 4. In my opinion, the season 1 and 4 are the best ones. The impact that season 4 had was amazing. It broke so many records. Everyone was talking about it. I think that the special effects are definitely the best part, and also what happened on the story. It was very sad, but also like emotional. Like, definitely the series, it's good. Like, if you haven't gave it a chance yet, maybe because you're thinking it's more for kids, they grow, so you're having them in the path of going from middle school, from high school. So definitely the series has shifted a little bit from being very family friendly sci-fi to more horror, dark, and maybe a little bit scary for some people, if you understand. So definitely, if you haven't watched it already, give it a chance. We're having season 5, that is the last one, coming on 2024. There's so many things that they need to be resolved, but definitely I'm more than excited, and I'll be sitting here patiently waiting because it's worth it. Now, on the number 2, this may come as a surprise because I never talk about this series here. Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. I'm going to stop you right there because maybe you're thinking, Pretty Little Liars, what the hell? Look, I didn't want to watch this show. I have never actually watched the original Pretty Little Liars or other spin-off. But this series came on HBO Max, and I saw so many people talking about it, and some of my colleagues that are also content creators on the film industry, not just horror, but like general. They were all talking how good it was. So I was like, if this is worth watching, yes or no? And they were all like, yes, you need to watch it. So I decided to do it. I ended up watching the whole season when the last 2 episodes were supposed to air. I basically watched it the first episodes and I watched the finale the day after. So good. Like, this is the best thing that I did with the episodes and then of cliffhangers. And I wasn't going to be able to wait. So good. The story is very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Give it a chance, trust me. It's not for everyone, but definitely it's good. So I am not ashamed to say that I like it, a Pretty Little Liars series, because honestly it took me by surprise and I really, really enjoyed it. And as the number one, and I think that this may not come as a surprise, Guillermo del Toro, Cabinet of Curiosities. It was amazing. I mean, whatever Guillermo del Toro does, he's brilliant. I love his work. Definitely, I love everything that that man does. So of course, it wasn't a surprise that I was going to enjoy this series. The thing is that since it's an anthology horror series, you're not obligated to watch all of them or even in order. Like, you can do as you please. You can watch one per week or whenever you're bored. So you can watch it like you want it. Like, you don't need to be thinking about details about the last episode and that type of stuff. So I would suggest you to watch this because definitely it's, in my opinion, and I think that many, the best horror series of 2022. Now getting into the good stuff. The best and worst horror movies. On the number 5, we have Firestarter. God. I didn't have high hopes from this film, being honest, but it was bad. Like, I remember having to wake up very early to watch it so I could film and do my review before leaving to work. And I was so upset that I had to wake up so early to watch that. Honestly, it was very bad. And it was sad because the girl, she's a pretty good actress, but unfortunately, this wasn't a good adaptation, being 100% honest. Now, on the 4th position, I have Choose or Die. This one, it's a Netflix original. It was awful. Like, seriously, it was boring, nonsense. I watched it because I had it on my watch list of horror films that were coming on that month. I don't remember when it came out, but definitely was awful. So don't watch this. Like, seriously, Netflix has better things to watch than this. On the 3rd position, I have The Bunker Game. I was very excited to watch this one. This is a Shudder original and ended up being so disappointing. Like, the story was so boring and also kind of nonsense. And I was expecting a lot, but unfortunately, it wasn't as good as I was expecting. Now, on the number 2, I have The Wrecking. Look, being 100% honest, taking away Jaws, I do not enjoy shark movies. I feel that they are all kind of the same thing and they aren't good. So I don't even know why the hell I put myself through the pain of watching this, but this one is actually available on Hulu. So maybe if you like this type of films, go and watch it. But definitely, I wouldn't recommend it, and definitely I will not rewatch it like ever. And as the number 1, I think that this may not come as a surprise, Jeepers Creepers 4 Reborn. I didn't have to watch the film to know how bad it was. Like, I actually, being honest, I watched it just last week because I didn't want to watch it, but I was like, I have to watch it because I need to complete my list in order to, like, you know, give the proper rankings because I need to watch every single thing that I have in my list. So I sit down and watched it. It was so damn painful to watch. I don't know who the hell had the idea, but it was just awful, like everything. And in my opinion, it's the worst one of the year, so don't even bother. I watched it almost on obligation But if you don't have to, just say goodbye to that and honestly go and watch something better, because 2022 gave us so many good horror films that those are the ones that I will be talking about now. Now, before I go into the top 5, I want to give some honorable mentions because there are films that they deserve to be mentioned. So on the top 10, because I had to do a top 10, not a top 5, because honestly, it was hard. It was very, very hard for me to just narrow the list to just 5. So on the number 10, I have Scream 5. I think that was the best way to start the year. It was everything. I love it. Scream 5, I know that for some people it wasn't as good. I can't wait for Scream 6. I did a reaction to the teaser trailer that came out. It was just last week. So I am very excited, but I know that for some people this wasn't it. But I enjoyed it a lot. Jenna Ortega, once again, she's amazing. So she was great. Now on the number 9, I have The Innocents. This one is for horror. This one for many may be more thriller rather than horror, but definitely is good. It's a slow burn, but so damn worth it, and it leaves you thinking. Like, this is the type of film that many people are going to interpret different things. Like the way that it ends, like you're going to think one thing and I'm going to think another, and that happens sometimes. That's the purpose, for the audience to kind of debate what they took from the film and what they think based on what they saw. But it's very, very good. On the number 8, I have The Sadness. Now for me, this one I had internal battle, because the film, I did not enjoy it. It's very disturbing, it's very graphic, it's, in my opinion, the most disturbing film of this year. But still, I cannot lie and say that it was awful, because it wasn't. I think that it's actually well done. The cinematography is pretty good. The special effects, they look so damn real. And that counts. Like, it's disgusting. It's very disgusting. What I would suggest is not going blind into watching this one, because you may take more than one surprise. So go and watch the trailer first, just in case, because definitely this film is not for everyone. Like, that's for sure. This is not for everyone. Now on the number 7, Pearl. Now please don't kill me by this. I love it, Pearl. I think that is a great film. But I have others that, in my opinion, were a little bit better. But still, I am not saying that it's bad, because it's not. Pearl was amazing. Mia Goth, she was the star. Like, Mia Goth, she did an amazing job with it. Pearl is more of a character study rather than X, but it's everything. Like, I love it, everything about the film. But like I said, 2022 gave us so many good films that it was hard for me to make this list. But I wanted to include Pearl. Like, I just couldn't left this behind, because it was honestly very good. Now on number 6, I have a Mad God. This one is from Shudder. This one, it's full animated. It's made by Phil Tippett, and it's so good. This film has almost not a single word in it. It's more visual, but if you pay closely attention, you're going to fully understand what is happening. Like, you don't need a character to be talking in order to understand. Now, what it's very impressive is that it's a stop motion, and the practical effects and all the special effects, they are so good that when you see actual humans on the film, you're going to think that they're also stop motion. So this film is a must watch and a huge recommendation, and I definitely feel that it deserves more recognition, since I haven't seen people talking about it. But if you haven't and you have Shudder, go and watch it, because it's very good. And now we are on the top 5. Now all the top 5 are basically 10 out of 10 and 5 out of 5 for me. So this one, it's more of my personal preference, because these 5 are all equally rated. And on the top 5, I have The Black Phone. This film, I loved it. Ethan Hawke did an amazing job, but I think that the spotlight was taken by the kids. I think that the kids, they did such an outstanding job. All of them. Even when their screen time was so little, they were able to make it good. Like, they took every single second that they had on screen. Like, seriously, it's brilliant. Like, I would love to see those kids in other horror films because they were so convincing. Like, it wasn't like cringy, or you could be thinking, oh, definitely this is a kid that is acting for the first time and it definitely needs some work. Like, no, like, there's a scene with the girl. It's very upsetting. She is having a fight with her dad, and God, I felt her pain when she's screaming and crying. Like, honestly, if you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, just go and do it because it's very, very good. On the top 4, I have Nope. For some people, this film is not as good as many others we said, but I definitely think that it is. Like, the film is not for everyone, but definitely deserves the praise that it has. The hype is real. There is a scene that it left me so damn shocked that I will not be giving spoilers because you need to go and watch it. Like, the film, it's so damn good. And after you watch it, go and watch the behind the scenes. Because seeing how this film was done, it's even more impressive. Like, there's a scene with a house and there's like a rain of blood, like similar to the Evil Dead remake. But the way that it was actually made, it looks very different. It feels different and way more intense, and also the sound. Like, if you're going to watch it, pay closely attention to the sounds. That's what makes it so damn tense, and it's like, ooh, but in a good way. Like, I enjoyed this film so damn much. Like, no shame for me to say that this one is one of the best ones of the year. Now, going into the top 3, I have The Menu. I love it, The Menu, from beginning to the end. I thought that Anya Taylor-Joy was going to be the star, and she is, but also Ralph Fiennes. They are both actually nominees for Golden Globes, and I definitely felt that they deserve the nomination because they were so good. Don't watch this film hungry. You don't want to do that because the food looks so good. Like, I don't know who was the person in charge of the presentation of the plates and every single thing that is cooked, but everything looked so damn good. Specifically, one of the last dishes, like, so damn good. This film is more of a comedy. I wouldn't say that it's black comedy. No, I wouldn't. But for some people, I have seen that they took it as a black comedy, but it's such a good one, and you don't want to watch this. This one, it's the one my boyfriend loved it the most, since he's not a horror fan, but he watches horror movies with me, of course. And for him, this was his best horror movie of the year. He enjoyed it so damn much. Like, he was so hyped and excited. I was surprised, but I was like, yes, he's coming to the dark side. He loved it, this film, and I don't blame him because it's honestly very, very good. And on the number 2, I have Barbarian. Barbarian is the type of film that I'm going to say, watch it without knowing nothing. Don't watch the trailer. Don't read anything. Just sit down and watch it. It's available on HBO Max. I have watched it quite a few times already, and I just loved it. The film is quite long. It starts being something, but then it switches. Justin Long appears, if that's something that you're interested in. I think that the man definitely can be considered a Scream king. Like, he's amazing. I love him in horror movies. Although his characters, they deserve a little bit better, but this was everything. Like, I read some people saying that this was awful, that it wasn't as good as people were claiming to be. I disagree. I enjoyed this film from the beginning to the end. And the end is a little bit campy, but I was shocked and so pleased. So go and watch it, seriously. Maybe you wouldn't like it, but at least go and watch it. Like, maybe you're going to have a fun time. Maybe. But my best horror movie of 2022, although may not come as a surprise, is X. When I first saw the trailer, I was very impressed and very excited. When I watched the movie, I was even more impressed and excited Mia Goth did once again an amazing job playing both Maxine and Pearl. And I can't wait to see the sequel. Maxine is coming next year. This film was everything. From the fact that it definitely has some inspiration on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's set on the 70s. It definitely feels that it's made on that time. The characters, the acting, the setting, the makeup, everything. The plot twist. Like, there's I would call it a little bit of a plot twist. And also at the end. So Jenna Ortega is in it. Maybe you want to go and watch it because of her. Although she does not appear like as much. Like, she's not the protagonist, but still she does an amazing job. And the rest of the cast, I think that they were fantastic. So in my opinion, X is indeed the best horror movie of the year. And with that, we have ended. I am very excited to see what 2023 is going to bring. But we can say that 2022 was great. I have seen some people claim that 2022 was actually bad. Honestly, I would love to someone to actually tell me a very good reason of why 2022 is not a good year for horror. Like, seriously. Because all I have seen is that, oh, modern horror is not good. I'm sorry. But if someone, or if you know someone that says that, they're not watching the right films. I am very sorry. But being on the mindset that only classics are good and that modern horror is not, honey, you're missing out. Because unfortunately, we evolve. Things change. Of course, we are on a period that original does not happen. It's very hard. We have seen it all. But there are films that they're able to reinvent. They're able to bring something new to the table with things that we have seen before. And that's something. So I will suggest you to stop watching the big franchises like Halloween or that type of stuff. Although it's not the worst one, it's not the best one, so I will not even be talking about Halloween ends. But if you're judging 2022 because of that, to give an example, honey, you have a lot of work to do and a lot of films to watch. So don't get stuck into the big franchise. Go a little bit further. Explore. Because most likely you're going to find something. There's something for everyone. There's something. Trust me in that. Like, that's the good thing here. We have a little bit for everyone. But well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which one is, in your opinion, the best one of the year. Now, next week, my last video of the year is going to be the list of all the movies that will be coming on 2023. Until now, I have 40-something horror films and some series. Not all of them, they have release dates, but still I will be mentioning them. And also White Noise is coming next week to Netflix. I don't know yet if I'm going to be giving it a review. I am thinking about it, but I don't know yet. But well, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye. And before I go, happy Christmas, happy holidays. I hope that you guys are going to having a good time, and stay safe. If you live where the snowstorm is happening, stay safe and have a good Christmas and happy holidays. Bye.